Hello, welcome. This is the Trophy Trust, a podcast for PlayStation trophy hunters. Joining us this evening, we have Klair88,
Hi guys.
and of course, I am the Dazeel. Just the two of us this evening. Now, we've been away for a little bit, but what we're doing is we're starting off a brand new season, if you will. We're branding this going forward as season 2 of the Trophy Trust podcast, and we're just tweaking the format just slightly, but it's basically the same thing at heart, at the core of it. We're focusing more on the actual trophy aspect. We're not going to report the news as much anymore. We're just going to discuss what the reason this podcast came together in the first place was this server's joint passion for trophy hunting on the PlayStation platforms. So that's what we're going to focus on. So anyway, let's kick this off and talk about what we've been playing. Now, as I said, there's only two of us, so we're just kind of a bit back and forth. We're going to keep it a bit loose, and we're just going to have a chat, really, keep it kind of casual. So, Claire, what have you been up to recently? It's been a long while, actually, since we've been on a podcast together, so nice being back on the air with you again.
Yeah, same here. I could probably talk for quite a while with the amount of games that I've been playing since I last said anything about it on the podcast.
It's been quite a while.
But yeah, we'll keep it just in recent kind of terms. And in that case, there's only one game that I've been playing, which is probably the same for a lot of people out there, which is Red Dead Redemption.
Cowboy Simulator 2018.
And I can't see myself caring about another game for quite a while. You know.
Yeah, I hear that it's quite a world. I haven't played it yet. I will get around to it eventually when the time's right for me. But I hear it's like quite a world to get lost in, just to wander around and just sort of happen upon things as they occur. Is that a correct description?
It's better than that. It's the best open world experience anyone's ever crafted in any game ever. It feels like a PlayStation 5 game, and what you'll start to see is that level of detail in an open world will be standard on like Assassin's Creed games on like a PlayStation 5 or something like that, but Rockstar have managed to do it near end PlayStation 4, you know.
That's of course if they take the time to craft the game. I mean, when comparing it to like Assassin's Creed, where it's usually every year or so. I know they're sort of breaking it up a little going forward since Origins and Odyssey.
I think they've set a bar, so if other developers don't even try to match the scope of it, it's kind of like the way The Witcher 3 kind of moved open world stuff open a little bit, and you can probably see a lot of The Witcher 3's-ness in Red Dead. But I mean, the open world game itself is the best, most stable, most realistic open world I've ever played, along with the best story I've ever played. It's the game of the generation. I'm probably going to call that now. It's probably my favorite game this entire generation.
Wow.
But its entire story, the length to it, the amount of activities they have to do, and everything that's planned with online and everything. Like, I've completely finished the story. Out of the 100% grind, I'm on 91%. Still got a good bit to go in the single player. But then I've still got the entire online ahead of me, and like I log on every night excited to do the next 5 hours.
So, what's the trophies like? Are they like how it was
They
with many Rockstar games? They're sort of few and far between. There's like quite a lot of gap between each trophy pop because there's so many requirements.
the platinum will never not be ultra rare, and I think it's the hardest Rockstar platinum I've ever encountered, and I've done a few of them myself. Yeah, it is. It's really, really hard. Not only do they ask you to do absolutely everything, but you might know because you've done Grand Theft Auto 5, and anyone else here who's done Grand Theft Auto 5. It's Grand Theft Auto 5 on steroids. Imagine if they stuck a huge amount of animals on Grand Theft Auto 5 and asked you to like find every single one of them, study and skin every single one of them. But the worst thing about it is that will separate the platinum from a lot of other people is the 70 gold medals returns. But the difference is that you can only do it in one shot now. You can't in Grand Theft Auto 5 you could replay the mission and do one thing over and then replay the mission and do the second thing. In Red Dead Redemption you need to do all on the same one mission.
So all requirements are in one attempt. Like you can reattempt the mission, but you need to just do it in one.
If
the requirements in one go.
Yeah, but if you replay the mission of your 100% save, you become a weakened version of the character, and you only have a set amount of tonics and a set amount of stamina and stuff like that. Whereas if you were playing it through the actual game itself, you could theoretically stock up before you do every single main game. So me and a few of the other trophy hunters who are yet to attempt it are thinking that we'll actually just start a new game, because there's currently a glitch that gets you a lot of gold at the very start of the game. So if you do that and then really stock up on the health and tonics, you can do the gold medals a lot easier when you have like lots of capabilities and stuff like that, you know. Whereas if you do it through the replay menu, you have a kind of lowered version of your main character. So I don't know what we're going to do with that, and we don't know what the online is like. So I mean, there's a trophy for 5 gold belt buckles, but how you earn those belt buckles could be like the platinum awards in Grand Theft Auto Online, you know. So
yeah, this is sort of why I'm also like holding off as well. I mean, I'm busy at the moment with other games, which I'll get to shortly. But yeah, when it comes to big games like this, I like to hold off and wait for trophy guides and people to experience and find the glitches and find.
I didn't even get down to the worst part of the trophy list. There's missable trophies. There's missable trophies in the 60-hour story thing.
Oh no!
Yeah. So there's like a certain amount of optional honor missions that you need to do. Honestly, if you just follow the guides that are out there right now, you're going to be able to get it. There's side missions that you have to do in each chapter, and then you have to interact with your companion guys in each chapter and everything. It's pretty straightforward. I know even a few people here in this podcast who are listening right now have done it, like Colkit and Jen, she's done it. A few other people managed to do it. It's pretty easy to do it. But the other thing is that, like I said, we don't know the online, and that's kind of, the single player would take 200 hours at least. So
yeah, I imagine the online will add many more hours to that. But this reinforces my point that I'm happy to wait until there are some, you know, solid guides. Someone can create like basically a roadmap, because that's what they call them on the forums. And
PowerPix already has it done up, to be honest.
PowerPix is usually the first to get the videos or get the write-ups done. So yeah, I'm happy to basically wait until everything's out and sorted and fixed and patched. And
I got 7th on the PSN. I got 7th on the PSN profiles for one of the trophies, actually, collecting all the birds and study and everything. So I got in the top 50 earners of getting those trophies. I was pretty happy. It's a nice little achievement for me.
Yeah, definitely, especially when you look on the leaderboards and such. So obviously that's quite a bit of an investment they're going to put into that to get the platinum.
Yeah, a lot of time. But that's all. All I can see myself playing. I did pre-order Spiral, though. I think that's something nice to play in between.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be a bit of a refresher to play in between. Remind me, how many hours did you put into Monster Hunter World?
By the time the platinum pinged, because I kind of figured out everything, because I was a noob to the series, but I got it in 360, but we managed to get like Shingo done in 280, I think. And then somebody else who played alongside us managed to get it done in 180. So, I mean, if you know what you're doing and someone told you a lot, you could probably get it done in 250. But for me, it took about 360.
Okay.
But that's like all online, if that makes sense, you know. So
yeah.
Whereas a lot of Red Dead is single player and replaying missions and stuff like that. So I think it might even put off some of the most hard trophy hunters, but we'll see. It might get easier over time as everything gets figured out.
Yeah, sure. I can imagine people are going to find little tricks and ways to make things a little easier. I'm just getting GTA 5 flashbacks again, doing everything. And I mean, back in the day, I did everything in Red Dead Redemption, the first one back on PS3. I got 100% within the campaign itself, like all the herbs, all the treasures and maps and etc. etc. It was just the online that I didn't really put too much time in, because I kind of had my feel. We've talked about this before, so I won't go into too much. So yeah, just all of that again. But yeah, I mean, I'm in no rush to get to it, because currently, I might as well move on to me now. I'm currently playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I've decided to jump into it a little earlier than I would a big AAA game. Usually I wait a little while and then I go in once there's guides and things have been fixed and patched and whatnot. But it kind of just fell at the right time. I finished a bunch of PSVR games, and I just really fancied a air quotations proper game, so to speak, to really get into something like lengthy. And where Assassin's Creed was out, and I really enjoyed Origins. That was my first foray into Assassin's Creed games, as I've said before on the previous episodes. So I jumped right into Odyssey. Like on a systems level, it's basically the same game, and I mean that in a good way, in a positive way. I really enjoyed the sort of light RPG elements of Origins, and yeah, it was like Assassin's Creed Light, which was helpful to me as a newbie to the series. It didn't really go too heavy on all the what's it called, like the Templars and Animus stuff. It's just like, here you are in a simulation, go do whatever, and that was enough for me. That was fine, and that's sort of the same here. I've put 26 hours in so far. This game definitely feels bigger in terms of the map, or at least it's spaced out more, because there's loads of islands. Like before, with ancient Egypt, the setting of Origins, it was a big landmass surrounded by ocean. But now it's sort of the opposite. It's like more ocean than sort of land, or at least in the sort of more eastern part of the map. There's loads of little islands to go and explore, and there's a lot of sailing and naval combat and such. But anyway, I was happy to find out that trophies were easier, or sorry, at least on the same level as Origins, if not easier. In Origins, you had to uncover every single question mark location on the map. That's not the case here in Odyssey, which is nice. I mean, I'm doing it anyway for the XP. I think it's just sort of a little bit more grinding to get to max level, and just a few other sort of combat-related trophies. There's no missables, even though you have different choices in dialogue trees and such, and different choices to make in the game. There's no trophies for choices. There's no missable story trophies. So it's basically just 70 to 100 hours. I definitely think it's going to take me longer. Like I said, the game feels a lot more vast, even with things to do. And I'm always getting sidetracked as well. They have different types of missions popping up now. You get like these timed missions that pop up. They have notice boards now, where you just accept a whole bunch of sort of missions that can run in the background behind all the other missions you're doing. They're good ways of earning XP. So it's like, how do I explain it? There'll be just basic generic missions. So like you go to a notice board in a town, city, whatever, and it'll be like kill 20 Spartans, soldiers, and you just accept it. It just runs in the background behind your other missions. And then when you're just doing story or like proper side missions or side quests, and you're just killing enemies, it just, tallies up, and then you'll just get it pop up and say, oh, mission complete, and you'll just get a payout of XP. So it's a tip to level up quickly, or at least level up at a decent pace in Odyssey, is just every town you go to, just accept everything off the notice board. Sometimes they're just bounties. They're pretty generic bounties that just go here, kill this person, very simple, or go here, kill this amount of animals.
I heard some criticism about the leveling system. Is that right?
Yeah, the way they've done it is with the leveling system. Right, best way to explain it. Okay, so when you do story missions in the game, when you finish, say, a particular story mission, the next story mission that will come after that may be a few levels higher than the previous one, like quite a few levels higher, like maybe 3 or 4, for example. So you are basically encouraged to go off and do side missions to level yourself up. You can't just basically gun through the story, just concentrate on story missions, because you'll be out leveled pretty quickly. So you're encouraged to do these timed missions that pop up, these like random event missions, notice boards that I've just mentioned, side quests, because some of the side quests you get pay out quite a lot of XP, which is unusual. They pay out, some side quests pay out the same or even more than a story quest would. So you can feel that it's been balanced like that you're encouraged to do side missions to level yourself up to do the main story. But for someone like me who plays all the side missions first, I'm not really affected by that, the way it's been laid out, because I love doing all the side missions, clearing a map of all side missions and things to do, then doing the story. Like I'm 26 hours in, and I've barely really touched the story. I may have done like 6 story missions. I don't think I've fully even unlocked all the sort of like core mechanics or core upgrades yet, and I'm just exploring. But you can't go too far in the exploration because, like in Origins, parts of the map are way higher levels than you, and in this case, different islands are higher levels. But anyway, to sum it up, I'm really enjoying it, just as I enjoyed Origins. They've made a few little tweaks here and there. They've added some baffling gameplay mechanics, like enjoyable but just weird. Once you get up to a certain level and upgrade a certain perk, you don't take full damage anymore. I mentioned it today on Twitter. You can like literally jump off of like a 200-foot mountain and you just don't take full damage. You just do a combat roll, which is odd because usually in like Assassin's Creed games you like walk with a limp for a little while, but you can just do a combat roll in the air and just shake it off like it didn't happen, which is very video gamey. But it feels kind of a little out of place in Assassin's Creed because like it sort of bases itself in a kind of realism, sort of.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean. I know it's a simulation, but it's based on like somewhat historical accuracy and somewhat within like it's not supernatural, is it, or anything like that? There's no like magic, so to speak, in the game. It's all supposed to be a realistic simulation, but it's still fun though. It's really fun, like jumping off a mountain and not taking any full damage. It's good for getting where you need to go, you know, without having to climb down carefully and not fall and die. You can just leap off there now, and it is actually really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I'm no interest in playing Red Dead so close to it. I mean, a big open world game and then another one would be too much. So I might not even reach Red Dead.
That's why I didn't buy Odyssey. I'm really interested in it. I definitely will get it. To be honest, I think it will be a part of the Christmas sales, BSN, and I'm probably going to buy it then. But I knew it would be too similar to Red Dead, and I wanted to save myself for Red Dead.
It is. I mean, like when I'm riding on the horses around the map, I'm getting sort of like feels of obviously Assassin's Creed Origins stuff that played that before, but like Red Dead, like going through the wilderness, like especially because it's set in Greece and you've got a lot of sort of forests. The wilderness is kind of like forests and stuff, and it really reminiscent of Red Dead for me. So I think it would be a big mistake me playing the new Red Dead 2 so close to Odyssey. So I probably won't even get to Red Dead until sometime next year, which I'm fine with. Anyway, anything else you want to add, Claire?
Nope, just looking forward to Spyro, and I'll be knee deep in Red Dead for quite a while.
Yeah, Spyro. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I never played it really growing up. I was more into Crash Bandicoot. I never really touched any of the Spyro games, other than maybe a demo disc that came with something. But yeah, sure. That's another game I'm going to hold off for a bit until I see some trophy guides and see how tricky it is to do. I definitely want to play them for sure. I love like 3D platformers, so I'm just hoping we're not going to have any like time trial bullshit like we had in the Insane trilogy.
No, I don't. I think it's all. I think it's all.
The trophy lists have been up, and I browsed through them, but as I've not played them before, I don't have a frame of reference to gauge whether the trophies are going to be easy or not from their descriptions.
Well, there's no time trials in Crash 1 and Crash 2 before in the original ones, but they included them in those games. So
I guess until it's in the hands of players and trophy hunters, I guess we'll find it. But I'm gonna hope for the best and hope that they're going to be pretty straightforward. Platinum trophies. It's probably going to be like there's a platinum trophy for each game, and I imagine it's probably collect everything and whatnot. But we'll see.
I think they're going to be like Jack and Daxter style trophies.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of platformer trophies.
Weren't too bad. Okay. All right, then we'll move on to our next section. What we're going to do is we're just going to look at a few new lists that have come up on PSN profiles. Recently added new release games that have had their trophy list added to the website. I've got a couple I want to discuss. First off, actually, I'll discuss one that Claire can relate to. I'm going to talk about Hitman 2. Now, like the Hitman that came out a few years ago, it's episodic again, and this causes a little bit of a problem for me as a trophy hunter. It doesn't have a platinum trophy. The way the trophy list is made, it's sort of split up into DLC, like into the episodes, and that's what put me off sort of getting Hitman the last time it came out, because even with the physical disc release, it didn't have a platinum trophy, and the same's happened here as well. I'm looking at the list now, and it's the same type of thing. You've got the base game that's just all bronze and a couple of silvers sprinkled in, and then after that you've just got DLC, which is mostly bronze, a silver and a gold, and then it's the same again and again and again and again as the episodes go on. Claire, what are your thoughts on this?
It must be their own internal decision to not include platinums. So I thought they were required by Sony, but I'm not too sure, to be honest.
I think it's a little disappointing. I think, they could have thrown in a platinum on the final like DLC or something. But then again, maybe they didn't want it to be like, oh, you have to buy everything.
I think somebody in the Discord said that they included the first game trophies in the second game's list, so you have to play the entire first game again if you want to get like 100%. You know what I mean? Which is what you're left with if you don't have platinum to earn.
It's really baffling because it's a physical disc release, and usually when it's a physical disc release, they have a platinum trophy. We've had games that haven't previously had a platinum come out physically and then get a platinum, such as the one that comes to mind right now is Telltale's Back to the Future. Like, that never had a platinum. Then when it got a physical release, they re-released it with a platinum. It's just bizarre. I mean, it's annoying, I'd really like the Hitman games, but it's just a bit of a turn off because I wouldn't mind like doing everything and getting a platinum at the end of it. But maybe I'll just. I didn't even play the last Hitman game, so I'm nowhere near. It's just an interesting decision. That's all, to like not include one. But anyway, moving on. Another platinum trophy I was looking at actually is from Nickelodeon kart racers. Now, I saw some reviews for this and people saying it's pretty poor, like mediocre to poor. But I suppose if this ever went on sale, I'd probably pick it up. It looks pretty basic. PSN Profiles has the platinum at 18%, which is reasonable for for a trophy hunting website. So if I ever saw this for like under a tenner, I'd probably pick it up. I don't mind racing games, like kart racing games. So there's something to look out for. But at its current price, I think it's around £25 to £30. I think when it is still at its full retail price, I'll probably give that a miss. But I'll keep an eye on that for the future. I'm not holding out to it be as good as Mario Kart or even as good as like classic Crash Team Racing. But I don't mind. Another one I was looking at as well was that new Tetris Effect game, that PSVR game that everyone seems to be going pretty wild about online at the moment. It's getting really good reviews. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's just Tetris but in VR." But a lot of people are really swearing by it, and I obviously won't understand it until I play it myself. But it has a platinum trophy. No one's earned it yet, at least on PSN Profiles. But it looks like there's some tricky ones here, or at least some time-consuming ones, like a clear 10,000 lines, rotate tetraminos. I can never say this. Rotate tetraminos 1,000,000 times. That definitely takes time. You have to play a few games to do that. It looks like they're just mainly time-consuming ones, but I see clear 1,000 lines total across all zone visits. Yeah, looks like a time-consuming one. It may not necessarily be difficult. Oh wait, here we go. Earn double S rank 10 times.
Is it VR only?
Yes, I believe so. No, wait. No, I don't think it is actually.
Oh.
I think it is VR, and I think you can play it without. I swear I heard someone
like Thumper.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I've tried Thumper. I didn't really like it that much, but I'm pretty sure it's not just VR. I will double check that for sure. But that may be one to look at in the future. I don't mind Tetris. I don't think anyone dislikes Tetris. I mean, it's a pretty simple game, but I don't know what the big catch is for it. Apparently, it's got a really good soundtrack and some really good like visualizations and stuff. So
probably got like the Resogun made over. I think it's going to be that kind of style, isn't it?
Oh, Nomad's just confirmed in the chat here. No, it is not just VR. Yeah, I thought so.
Oh, cool.
I thought so. I did hear someone on a podcast I was listening to earlier
it's
today.
It's pricey though, is it? It's like 40 quid.
Yeah, it's like £35 for Tetris, basically. So it is a little pricey. It would be something I'd look at in the future.
Yeah.
I'll be interested to read a trophy guide on it, actually, to see how difficult.
I wouldn't be big on those type of games, but it looks like a really good addition or remake or update to a classic kind of format that I think a lot of people will I think it probably might not do well at launch, but once it drops down in price on a sale, I think it'll be very popular for a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree. It also seems like the kind of game that would get offered on PlayStation Plus in the future.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to wait 2 years, yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah. Another game I was looking at as well was oh man, I'm not good at pronouncing this. It's a French word. How do you pronounce it? Deracini. I'm probably absolutely butchering it, but I think it's a VR game, co-developed by FromSoft and I think Sony Entertainment. It's like the best way I can probably describe it without using the term in a negative way is like a walking simulator. There was actually there was a news story on it actually quite recently, because it's a FromSoft game. It has perhaps slight references to Bloodborne in it, and a lot of people are taking this as a potential hypothetically speaking, reference to like Bloodborne 2 if there was going to be one. There's just a few like hints dropped in the game, but I think people may be reading a little too deep into it or between the lines, trying to hope for something. But either way, it's a VR game by FromSoft. It looks like the best way to describe a walking simulator. It's set in like a boarding school, some kind of mystery or something. So that looks interesting. It's got a 36% platinum rarity on PSN profiles, and all the other trophies are pretty high percentage as well. So that's it, Deracini. Yeah, Nick just said in the chat. See, I did look it up earlier on Google how to pronounce it, and I just totally forgot. Anyway, yeah, Deracini does look very interesting. That'll probably be something I'll be looking at in the future, because every now and then when I do set up my PSVR, I like to grab a few games and play them one after another, because just to sort of have like little sessions of PSVR and have play a bunch in a row, rather than having to. I don't have my PSVR set up all the time because I have the first generation PSVR where it doesn't support HDR through the splitter box, so I have to set it up each time, take the HDMI's out, plug them back in and all that. So I don't have my PSVR connected all the time, so I have to get it out, wire it up, so to speak. So I like to have a few games to play, get the most out of it. Then when I'm done, then pack it away, rather than keep getting it out all the time. So yeah, I like maybe in the future I'll pick up Deracini and maybe Tetris Effect, and play them back to back. And yeah,
definitely.
They're a pretty good combination, actually.
Also, there's there's the Battlefield 5 as well. I'm not sure if you're interested in that, are you?
Oh yeah, of course. I forgot. I don't really pay attention to the military shooters and stuff. It's not really my kind of thing. But
yeah.
Have you had a look at it?
Yeah, to be honest, it looks like it's probably going to be the easiest Battlefield Platinum yet. Not too much multiplayer stuff, not too much story. There's no collectibles, but it does look like there's difficulty trophies, but who knows, It doesn't look too bad, to be honest. A lot of people in the forums and even Brian PS4 trophies and all that has said it's very easy compared to the others, so Battlefield 1 has steadily been getting easier anyway, so.
Well, I wouldn't be opposed to trying it if it had like a pretty easy trophy list. I'm just not like that invested in these sort of like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Battlefront, these type of military style shooters. So, and the thing is with Battlefield, the games, they drop so dramatically in price shortly after they've been out, and then like a year or so afterwards you can pick up the previous year or the year before that's Battlefield for really cheap. You always see it on PlayStation sales. And the same goes for Battlefront as well. You remember when didn't you recently pick up Battlefront 2 for pretty cheap, and then Battlefront the first one was like ridiculous price. It was like under a $5.
Yeah, well, for us, you can buy the Ultimate Edition for €5, like the entire game and all the DLC for €5. But that's the first game. But I bought the second game for like €12 a few weeks ago. So.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and Battlefield 1 had its premium pass go free not too long ago, and you could buy the game at the same time for like €3 as well. So it's crazy.
Well, that might be something to look out for. I mean, I'll keep this in the back of my mind. If if it's an easy sort of an easier trophy list, I just don't want to like be stressing too much over a game I'm not too. I wouldn't say not too interested in, but something I'm not really that passionate about. But yeah, if it ever dropped down really cheap in like 6 months' time, and it turns out it's like a 4 out of 10 platinum, and there's not much effort needed to do online. Did you say there wasn't? I mean, I'm looking at the list now.
Yeah, in multiplayer builds, in multiplayer, fully suppress 5 enemies, suppress 5 people in Battlefield. I mean, you should be able to do that with your first clip of the gun that you first get when you start the game.
Then in multiplayer, build 10 fortifications in a round.
Who knows what that is? Have 3 squad members spawn on you like that. These shouldn't be trophies in Battlefield. Like, you know what I mean? Have to have just 3 people spawn on you. That's crazy. And then in multiplayer, perform 10 squad revives. That's should be doing that 10 a minute if you're a medic.
It looks like here that the bulk of the trophy list actually is online. It looks like not including.
There's one there, a gold trophy, Death from Above. In multiplayer, destroy 5 manned stationary weapons with an airplane. So if you're not of the vehicle type, you might find that difficult, maybe.
Anyway, one to keep an eye on. Anyway, that's all the games that I wanted to talk about with any new trophy lists. Anything else you want to add, Claire? Or should we move on?
No, just that.
All right, well, we can do tricky trophies if you like. We're going to keep our tricky trophy segment because people seem to enjoy it. We have people add their own anecdotes on our Discord server, which in future episodes we will go back to that. But for today, I'm just going to read out one of mine. And Claire, have you got one prepared for afterwards as well?
I do.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'll go first. And what I'll talk about is, speaking of VR, just previously, before I started Assassin's Creed, I was dabbling with PSVR. I found a really cool game called Just in Time Incorporated, and I really enjoyed it. The best way I can describe this is imagine the sort of visual style of Minecraft, kind of like square, blocky, cartoony characters, but it meets Superhot, where basically you're faster than time and you have to dodge and move around the environment to achieve a goal. And the basic premise of Just in Time Incorporated is you work for an insurance company, and basically you have to save your clients' lives in wacky situations. You have these gloves that allow you to move faster than time, but everything is still moving. It's not like Superhot where time only moves when you move. Time is constantly moving, but just very slowly. So it's trial and error, and you have to basically analyze a situation. You've got the move controllers in your hand, and something wacky is going to happen. So I'll give you an example of a very basic level. One of your clients is crossing the road towards you, and a car is speeding towards them to knock them down and kill them, and you have to find creative ways to stop that. You can't pick the person up and move them. You have to find creative ways to stop the car or get them out of danger. So in this game, you run over and there's a clown on the other side of the road selling balloons, helium balloons. So you run over or teleport in VR. It's one of them games where you can just hop across, the environment by teleporting in quick bursts. Grab the helium balloons, then you tie them to your client, and it lifts them above the car just as it goes to hit them. So it's kind of wacky like that, and it's really, really enjoyable, and I really do recommend it. But the tricky trophy in question is actually quite a low percentage one on PSN profiles, and I had to look up how to do this because it's one of those ones where it's like physics-based. The physics are really wacky in this game anyway, but it's physics-based, timing-based. It's like all the things that can go wrong. But basically there's a level where a building is on fire and 3 of your clients jump out the window, and they will fall to their doom, but you have to throw down trampolines, I guess the best way to explain them. Do you know them inflatable sort of trampolines that firefighters put out to people to land on? Crash mats, inflatable crash mats? Yeah. You have to basically throw 3 of them down in time. But anyway, that's not the trophy. The trophy is you have to basically bounce all 3 of them up in the air at the same time, get them all 3 characters up high in the air. Now, they all jump out of the windows at different times as well. They don't all jump out at once. It's like a second floor window, and then someone on like the 5th floor, then someone on the 3rd floor. So they're jumping out at different times, different heights, and you have to bounce them all, get them all in the air at the same time. and it took me about, I think, half an hour and 40 minutes of just constantly retrying over and over again. I bounced them too high, I bounced them off at an angle so they hit a building, and yeah, it's the lowest percentage rarity on the list because it's the one that has the most trial and error. I feel there's some other ones in there that are shits to do, but this one called Send It. In building fire, send 3 clients high into the air before they bounce. So you have to just fling them up in the air, and it's annoying, but the game is still very, very fun to do. And you can actually cheese a few of the trophies as well by adjusting your height in the settings, which I found to help quite a bit. So if you're playing that game, have a look at the height settings and make yourself really tall for another trophy. It really, really helps. So yeah, I do recommend it though. It is great, and it's really cheap as well. Anyway, Claire, what's your tricky trophy?
My particular one is for Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Funny enough, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, it has quite a few tricky trophies in it. But the one that I got done, but I had to put a lot of effort into it. It's called Choose Your Path. The description basically is, while being marked, defeat enemies in Heroes versus Villains. So defeat 50 enemies. But basically what that means is that in Heroes versus Villains, it's basically just there's 6 the superheroes, 3 on the light side, 3 on the dark side. So you could have like Palpatine, Boba Fett, and Vader, and then or like Rey, Yoda, and Luke then on the other side, and then everyone just kills each other. But one of them is marked and the other is defended. So you have to keep your guy alive, but you have to kill the other marked person. But for this trophy, while you are the marked person, you have to kill the other marked person. So while you are the highlighted person that everyone on the other team is trying to kill, you have to be the one to get the kill on their side, if that makes sense. And you have to do that 50 times. It was really, really tough. So it was quite tough because you have to play with a team that will back you up, if that makes sense, because you have to play super offensively because you have to wait to be marked, and once you are the marked person, you have to immediately think offensively. You have to go straight to the other marked person, hope that he's not being defended, and try to take him out as best as you can. If your other team, if you're not playing with people, or like I just did with randoms, it was frustrating at times. So sometimes you would get a really good team, and other times you wouldn't. But you really need like the backup of other people to be able to survive. You know what I mean? Because it's no good you going in one against yourself. Even if you're a fully leveled up Vader, you're not going to be able to hold off like 3 of the other guys. You know what I mean? Who could be fully leveled up as
they're
well.
They're the type of online trophies that like literally just scare me away from playing games like those really like high maintenance, or like require a lot of setup or a lot of cooperation, or finding a team that will back you just for a trophy. That's what, like, I mean, it's fine here. Like, we have a really nice tight community here that will help each other out. We have the boosting threads and such, but just generally speaking, let's say none of us here were a member of this Discord server and we were just on our own, we couldn't call for help on Twitter. It would be really difficult, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, I did a solo. I didn't play with anybody. But you kind of have to trust your own ability that you play well enough to just get the job on them. You know what I mean? But if you're playing with a good team, then normally it's never really a balanced fight. Like I must have played like 100 more games of it, and it was always one team crushes the other team. Always, you know what I mean? So you just have to be on the crushing side. You know what I mean? That's literally it. It was never any other way for me. But the race was just getting the actual final kill, because an assist wouldn't count or anything like that, and there's no way to track it as well. There is a lot of ways in the game to track the other trophies, but there's no way to track that particular one. So it actually came to me quicker than I thought it would, so I was pretty surprised. But it was definitely very tricky to do, because like I said, you have to focus, you have to play completely offensively while you are the person that the entire team has to kill. It was good though.
Damn.
I like that. I'm still playing it. It's a long grind to get to that max level, so I'll probably be at it for weeks.
Nice. Okay. Well, that pretty much brings us towards the end of our this episode. As I said at the episode starts, we're sort of toying with the format, making it a little shorter in terms of segments, so that way we've got more room for just sort of tangents and such. Just keeping it a little looser now with this season 2, if you will. So so thanks for listening, guys. By the way, Claire, where can people find you on the social networks?
Just hanging around Twitter, I suppose. Klair88 Gaming.
Okay. Where can I find you at?
Klair88 Gaming.
Cool. And you can find me on Twitter at the Dazeel. Of course, this is hosted out of our Discord server, where we have a great community of trophy hunters, as I just mentioned. You can come and join. Come for the boost. Come for the monthly trophy leaderboard. And of course, you can find us on our own Twitter for this podcast at the Trophy Trust. There is where you'll find the invite link for Discord. So please come and join, and you can come listen to the podcast as it's recorded live and join in on the chat. Anyway, if you enjoy our show, please consider supporting us on Patreon. We're going to get that up and running and a little more active. For as little as $1 a month, you can keep the show on the air. Check us out on our YouTube channel as well, of the same name, the Trophy Trust. We'll be uploading the videos again, but this time we won't be going too much on capturing the chat from Discord. We're just going to basically have the audio and have it nice and simple, and it will help with production of the episodes. Just keep it nice and simple, and we can get the episodes up quicker as well when we don't have to render loads of video components. Just keeping it simple and easier for us and easier for you to get hold of as well. You can find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, normal places. We're absolutely the same as before, but we're just having a little retooling of the format. Anyway, thanks for joining us. This has been the Trophy Trust. Keep on hunting. See you next time. Bye.
See you guys.
Okay.
Thanks for
listening, guys, everyone in the chat. Sorry if it was a